In this video, I want to look at the difference between obsessing and overthinking, and also ask the question, if many gifted people obsess about things and overthink stuff, does that mean we all have OCD? Let's jump into it.
What's overthinking? To overthink means to think about something too much or for too long. Overthinking means we go over the same thought again and again. We analyze the simplest of situations or events until all sense of proportion has gone. The overthinking brain cannot translate these thoughts into actions or positive outcomes. Therefore, it creates feelings of stress and anxiety. We all overthink to some extent as parents, sons, or daughters, employees, or business people. Worrying about things is linked to caring about our loved ones and about doing a good job. However, people who really struggle with overthinking tend to be ruminators. That means they go over events that have already happened. Plain old worrying tends to be about the future. Can I meet this deadline? Can I find a nice apartment for my mom? Often, our worries help us move forward as we're working out how to mitigate them. However, overthinking tends to be passive rather than active. Overthinking means dwelling on past events and building up disproportionately negative future results. Just take this scenario for example. You accidentally call your new boss by the wrong name. What do you think and feel when you realize this later? The average worrier will feel mildly embarrassed, plan to apologize with some self-deprecating comment the next day, then forget about it and make dinner. The overthinker will replay this error over and over while rewriting different outcomes. By 4 in the morning, he or she will be mentally creating scenarios of being passed over for future promotions or even chosen for redundancy. The incident has triggered big questions in the overthinking mind, which blow the whole event way out of proportion. Now, this may seem like a trivial example, however, it is a good illustration of how overthinking can take over many facets of your life. Dwelling on past events and making catastrophic predictions from it are classic examples of what an overthinking mind can do. The intellectual brain will tell us that no way will we lose our job because we called our boss by the wrong name. However, people prone to rumination are responding in that primitive fight or flight mode, where focusing on worst case scenarios is more likely to keep us alive. Overthinking and anxiety work together, exacerbating the feelings of stress and helplessness. What is obsessing? An obsession is a recurring thought of something or someone, where it always seems to be in a person's mind. Obsessions may be a passing occurrence or a long-term interest, and may or may not be uncomfortable experiences. Obsessions may reoccur in your daily life as thoughts, dreams, urges, or fantasies. Obsessive thoughts can be disturbing or otherwise have negative connotations. Obsessions may also feel a bit like intrusive thoughts. As I've said before though, most people have intrusive or negative thoughts or unwanted thoughts from time to time. Not all intrusive or unwanted thoughts are obsessive though. Generally speaking, an obsession may take on irrational properties. To obsess means to completely fill your mind so that you cannot think of anything else in a way that is not reasonable or normal. So overthinking and obsessing seem similar, don't they? So what is really the difference here? The main difference between overthinking and obsessive thoughts is that when we're overthinking, we're trying to stay in control of the present moment and problem solve. This is a conscious decision to stay focused no matter how erratic it may feel at times. Obsessive thoughts, however, are our brain attempting to consciously resolve an issue that lies in our subconscious. When we obsess on something, we don't consciously decide to do so. Obsessions, like intrusive thoughts, appear to manifest all by themselves and are usually charged with emotion. They're the thoughts that catch us unaware and can instantly change our mood. Many gifted people overthink stuff and or obsess about things. Does that mean they have OCD? Well, when you hear the term obsession, you may immediately think OCD. However, people may misuse the term to describe someone who, for example, has particular preferences about organization. Obsessions can and do occur outside of OCD diagnosis. It's good to remember that not every obsession needs to be thought of as a dangerous symptom of a mental health condition. Although obsession hallmarks can relate to many of the symptoms of OCD, having an obsession doesn't necessarily mean you have OCD.
That's because both overthinking and obsessive thinking are often less intense than OCD obsessions. Struggling with overthinking and obsessive thinking doesn't necessarily indicate obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a biochemically mediated psychological disorder that involves repetitive, intrusive, and disturbing thoughts, which are accompanied by compulsive behaviors that we who have OCD use to quell the anxiety. The obsessions and or compulsions take up more than 1 hour a day and cause significant distress and impair work or social functioning.
Gifted people are no more likely to have psychological problems than anyone else, but a highly active mind and some of the traits associated with overthinking, which affect some gifted people, such as perfectionism, might tip the balance toward obsessive thinking or rumination, and that, in turn, might lead to OCD. So, perfectionism is a trait which, together with a highly active mind, can trigger overthinking and obsessions, which in turn can develop into OCD. So, in my next video in this series, I want to take a closer look at perfectionism and other traits which can trigger OCD in a gifted mind. I hope to see you then. This information came from these websites. You'll find these links below this video.
If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel and watch this series from the start. In 2 weeks, I'll leave the OCD theme for once and be back with a new video in my series on cognitive abilities. Till then, I only want to say 3 things. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye for now.